Indeed.
All right, I got your recording going when you're ready, Chuck.
Oh, cool. Let me go ahead and rock and roll there. So welcome, you guys. Hope everyone's having an amazing Sunday. Had a great weekend. Had a chance to recoup and recover from all the activity that we had last week. First of all, I want to say congratulations to the entire team for the effort that you guys put in last week on making it happen. They say success is all about opportunity, me being prepared, and we were prepared and we stepped up in a very, very big way. So even for you guys that might not hit all the goals that you wanted to hit, for enrolling as many team members as you wanted to enroll, you put forth the effort, and that's what really counts in our industry as being entrepreneurs. It's the effort that you put in, and eventually, I mean, it might not happen tomorrow, but eventually that effort will show. That effort will show in results of promotions. It'll show report in money. It'll show all kind of ways. But just continue to put forth the effort. So first off, congratulations, right?
Congratulations.
All the leaders on the team. I see everybody continuing to jump on. Awesome. So the first thing we're gonna guys talk about, we had an agenda already set up. So I'm gonna stick to the agenda so we can
Yeah,
be sure we
please.
get to everything. And also, I want to be sure every executive director, for a person that has earned executive director, there's a new executive director Facebook group. And that new executive director Facebook group is having a meeting at 9:30. So we're going to talk to the leaders on how to continue to get your business to go and grow. Okay? So this is the agenda. All right. I really got them. See, that's when you have somebody that's good and technical. They pop that thing on the screen for you. Appreciate you, bro.
know that.
My goodness, man. I was going to be reading off my phone. So we're going to now. All right. So first off, we're going to talk about being a product of the product, so being understanding why that's so important, especially to emphasize to your new team members. All right. Your new team members have to understand that we have to be a product of our product. All right. We're going to talk about enhancing edification, energy, piquing interest, and just getting a little bit out of the norm. We can't continue to be the same way we peaked 2 months ago because we have a different vehicle or way that we're transmitting information. We're going to talk about the calendar and how we're going to use the calendar as a team. Because as we continue to grow, we want to be sure we have a systematic way of our team staying connected and all of us growing together and not getting disjointed. And then, of course, we're going to talk about watch parties. We're going to do some team etiquette, and we're going to do a little bit of recognition. Just want to kind of recognize everybody that got promoted over the last few weeks. We know a lot of people putting in work, so we want to be sure that we recognize that, and congratulations to all of you. So first, let's talk about being a product of the product. We got to understand that doing the product side, a lot of people start the process but don't end with it. They start the process of using the system, but don't end up using all of the system, okay? As your new partners come on, I'm sure some of you guys, even on the line right now, have not all the way used the full Financial Edge membership. That's going from Money Max, Credit Max, Equity Max, and Wealth Max, okay? It's an entire program that you can use, and you don't have to wait for one to start the other. Okay, you can start them all at the same time, especially the Money Max and the Credit Max. That's just putting information in. Equity Max as well. You want to be able to give a testimony for every part of the program, because the first thing it's going to do is going to send you through the process. So when I have someone, team member, call me and say, hey, or even maybe the leader call and say, hey, my partner's having a challenge using the Credit Max. And they want me to kind of explain it. So I was like, well, have you used the Credit Max? And they was like, well, not all the way yet. I'm going to use that next week. I'm like, well, see, that's the challenge. See, because our team is continuing to grow, when we get together, we need to be building business and making money together. We don't need to be doing the product training, right? So as you go through the process, you can explain the simple things they might, bump into. If they have a credit and say, what's this smart credit? If you have to ask me, that means you hadn't gone through the process yet, okay? So one, it's going to allow you to go through the process and you get to become the expert, because after you do a thing, you can teach a thing, all right? Two, it's going to create your success story. That's the most important story in this business. If you guys can tell, we give a whole lot of testimonies, a whole lot of stories, because facts tell, but stories sell, all right? But the most important story to your prospect is your story. They can hear my story. They can hear Yaz's story. They can hear Kim's story. They can hear my brother's story, Rashawn's story. They can hear everybody's story about what it's done for them. But at the end of the day, they're going to come back to you and be like, dude, let me ask you a question. How's it working for you? That question is going to come up. And you need to be able to give them an honest answer on how it's working for you. And then, of course, the third reason and the most important reason is because this business is not just about getting a rank. It's about helping you become financially fit. It's about helping you as an individual create your own financial success. So if you're growing financially, just using the system, your finances should change every 3 to 6 months anyway. If you don't recruit one single person, if you don't recruit anybody in your business, if you follow in the system, every 3 to 6 months, your financial picture should be getting a little better every 3 to 6 months anyway. Okay? So that only way that happens is if you are implementing and using the system. Okay? So today, we should not let this week pass without you not using every part of the system. You know, when someone asks about a private reserve account, you should be able to at least explain to them what it is after they've seen the presentation. Now, of course, we don't do a lot of explaining when we come to the recruiting side. But when someone wants to become a customer and be a product, you should be able to let them know how the product works after they've looked at the information. It couldn't be like, well, I don't really know. Yeah, let me call somebody for you, right? You want to be the expert in that, okay? So let's be sure that this week we can commit to being a product of the product. If we can commit to that, I want everybody to give me a thumbs up, okay? And I see about 5 thumbs up because everybody else got their camera off. We're going to have to work on that. We're going to have to work on that. I see a few more thumbs up. Okay, so y'all know how to use the reaction button. Okay, cool. I'm learning that myself. I ain't know nothing about that. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right, cool. So what we got next on the agenda, you guys? Anybody have any questions about the product or being a product of the product? Any questions on that? Nope. All hearts and minds are clear? Perfect. Okay, so let's talk about the second thing is preparing that testimony. Because now that you have a testimony, we want to be in position where you can use that testimony as your key part of telling your story. All right? Now, in Game Changer, which we're going to talk to you guys about, hopefully it still happens, we go through how to give a proper testimony. All right? And I'm going to need somebody on the line to go through and just give their testimony about any other product. I'll let anybody volunteer for this one because I know some of y'all already came to the training.
Hey, what's up, Chuck? I'll go ahead.
There you go. I'm talking about someone who's going to step up. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Hey, this Fabian Brown, Chuck.
Okay, let's see it, Fabian.
All right. Before NWR Financial, I was living paycheck to paycheck, like most people. I wanted some breathing room. I like to travel and things of that nature. But once I paid all my bills, I had nothing left over. But after I joined NWR Financial and I talked to the experts in the money match, my paycheck increased by $200. And I get paid every week. And so 2 times 4 is $800. So I get $800 a month coming back into my household.
Awesome. Okay, so as y'all can see the framework, he said before, so it gave the picture of this is my situation before. You know, this was my challenge that I was going through. And then the transition to after using the Financial Edge membership, I got an additional $800 a month, right? So again, it gives a little reality. One thing we could add to that too is what you're able to do with that now. You know,
okay.
So one thing we could add to that is what we're able to do with that now. So I've been able to use that $800 to pay off 2 credit cards, or I've been able to use that $800 to invest in an investment property. I know you got an investment property now, you know, so what you're able to do with it after getting it. So they have a bigger picture just getting the extra $800, right? So again, it's
right,
that
cool.
testimony before and after, okay? So we need everyone, and this is the thing, you should have a testimony about every product. You know, I mean, every portion of the product. That's why we say use everything. And your testimony doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be $800 a month, right? Any increase is good. I got extra $75 a month. I know Catrice got extra $75 and maybe extra $85, so it came up to about $150 for their household. but it's something in addition to. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to have the big, I got $600 back. Any testimony that's genuine, especially when you say what you did with it. So with that little extra $90, I was able to go ahead and apply that to the credit card. I got that. I'm gonna have that thing paid off in the next 3 months. How do you know? Because you use the Equity Max system. The Equity Max kind of takes you through that process. All right. So we want everyone to have their testimony, right? Y'all hear me give my testimony all the time. I was just talking to Michelle, who had a customer. We're doing a 3-way call, and I told her my testimony about using the Credit Max. She was like, "Man, that's amazing. I would love that. I have good credit, but I'd love to be in the 800s." I'm like, "Hey, get the membership." Michelle sent me a picture back with her name. Welcome, Kendra. What's her name? Kendra Michelle, something like that, right? So again, we want to use the product and create that story, create that testimony. Because when we're doing lives like this, if y'all can't tell, sometimes we just like to call on people because that authentic testimony is what gets people drawn in. The presentation is great, but that authentic testimony draws them into, I think this can work for me, right? Anything else you want to give with the testimony, Rick?
No, just the main idea is always being ready. One of the things I love about our team is we represent. When we have a webinar and say, jump on right now, everybody jumps on, but we got to increase our energy. Like the reality is people join people. They don't join MWR Financial, and they join because of our energy, our warmth, and our growth. So even those of you that aren't the one that gets called on to do the testimony, look like a testimony. Be over there, be ready, and there's some things that we'll talk about as we go into talking about the Zoom, using Zoom and the technology for team etiquette now because we have to, but also it'll help us grow. This is big business skill that we're really working on in our home-based business, that if we master it, we can make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So let's recap what you said though, Chuck. You said all 4 maxes, go through everything on there. The first 3, it doesn't take more than an hour or 2, right?
Right.
And then the Wealth Max consultation, it is so educational that even if you don't have the funds to play right now, you know what you need to target to get into a private reserve account or to do some land banking. And that gives comfort because before that, here's my reality. I ain't have anybody to talk to about how to get wealthy before 60. Like my 401k guys, they'll talk about how I can have enough income in retirement after 60, but I want to retire at 50. Come on.
Right. Want to accelerate that process, right? Okay, so Rick, why don't we go ahead and jump into the peak, unless anybody got any questions on the testimony, you guys, because I want everyone to have one and know how to articulate it. That's going to be key, because when we're doing the testimonies here on the Zoom, we want to keep that thing like within a minute. Like we don't need a 3-minute, 5-minute, even though it can be impactful. We need a minute because we want to be conscious of the time as we're expanding our team and sharing information about building the business. Got it? All right, so give me a thumbs up if you're okay with that. Let me get a thumbs up. Okay, I see a few.
Yes.
There we go. All right, Rick, so let's do this, because I know you guys, my brother is such a masterful at articulating how we share our business. When it comes to piquing interest, I know a lot of people have questions about what do I say, how do I expose this, how do I share this with people in the environment that we're in right now. So we always used to say, don't go out to build your business, just build your business while you are out. That made it fun, but guess what? We're not going out that much, so we're not going out that much. So we got to be sure that we're able to do this. So, Big Bro, I want to pass it over to you to give you an opportunity just to share with everyone some of the ideas we have about how to build business and piquing interest.
Okay, hang on. Let me make you co-host. Can you find that voice for me?
Yep, I was just looking for it.
Shanti.
All right, there we go. All right.
There we go.
Welcome, everybody. How y'all doing this evening?
Better than amazing.
Before I get started, let me give it back up to my brother Chuck. specifically on just recognition of where we are. Because here's the great thing about what we're doing and the things that have happened. It turns out that everybody in America is having to go through a pivot right now, meaning if you're in business, your survival is dependent on your ability to make an adjustment in direction and still be relevant. And we are just so blessed that what we do is so relevant. Because if you think about the name of the company, you know, Making Wealth Real Financial, wealth is, you know, it's a very important wish for most people. I don't say it's a goal. Most people don't have a goal to be wealthy. They got a wish. They would, if they could be wealthy, they would be. But that's not what they're going out there working for. But if you think about the climate, the economy, and the world we're in right now, well, the definition of wealth is not an amount of money, but it's a number of days forward. Does that make sense? That was Robert Kiyosaki that said that. He said that your wealth is dependent on how many days forward you could afford to live without working again. And the reality is that a lot of people are at that point where they're still at work, but just feel a little bit of sense of risk. How many of you know some people in your lives that feel it's just a little bit riskier than it was, that they can count on their jobs to be there the way that they were? Show of hands, thumbs up if you got it, right? And so just knowing those things are true, they're asking themselves questions and asking you. Now, I'm not going to be bold enough to duplicate Mr. Bean's training other than to pose the questions. How many of you attended this training yesterday? Show of hands, everybody that was on at noon, watch the whole thing and the replay. What did he say? Somebody come off mute, tell him, what did he say we should be doing to pique interest today? Said, ask questions.
Right.
You remember who remembers the targeted question that he asked? He had one that we didn't have in our previous piquing interest. The reason I'm going over it is because it's not in the text scripts yet. It's not necessarily in our training document, but it is effective.
Hey Rick, this Fabian.
Yep.
He asked, like during this pandemic, well, during this time, how would you change it?
Yep. Man, I mean, he phrased it, and it's one of those very loaded questions. It's with everything going on with the pandemic, what would you do financially to fix this situation?
Right.
Right. And it's what's called a rhetorical question. It's something where you elicit an idea, knowing they probably don't have a plan. What would you suggest? What would you do to turn this whole thing around? And by asking a question, it starts that process. Piquing interest has always been about questions. Like, I'm going to share back a document that should be familiar to everybody, but I do want to make sure that everybody is seeing it. Let's see. I'll share my screen. So I wanted to first share. Where's my browser? Oh, browser's stuck on calendar right now, but it'll work. So from right here in howtoshiftyourincome.com, there is a document down here, the AD Fast Track, right?
Yep.
And he's always said our process, peak. What comes after peak?
Pass.
Pass.
What's next?
Present.
Present.
And then?
Plug.
Plug.
Plug
Is
and
it
promote.
plug, promote? Yeah.
Pass, peak, pass, plug, promote. Except what he added is, and it's a very important step, is that step of edifying. Right now, you got to think about what we were able to do. In our the way that network marketing worked before was we had a ladder of escalation, yes? Where we could move, because we could move, we could always move the prospect through a series of increasing validations so that it was always a next step, someplace they could go, some tool they could listen to. And that has had to shift, meaning I think our highest close rate, and Chuck, you can check your percentages, but I know for me, most of the people that got into my business were at some point in my house.
Most likely, yep.
And so now that people can't go to the house or get out of the house, it both becomes a part of the peak, but also a part of the process. Meaning now these webinars, the things that we're doing on Zoom, they're our most intimate exposures. Now, why do I say they're intimate? Because you can see my face. I know that you're there. I can see your face. I see your name. You can see all the other people. And this is the best opportunity that we have to work together using technology to make money. So when we talk about peaking for our new normal, of course, have you ever heard of income shifting, or have you heard of private reserve accounts or land banking are important concepts? But what's more important right now is just survival, getting to the place where just in case this thing doesn't turn around when we want it to, I can still make money from where I have to be.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep.
And I want to refer you back to Brian's training because he killed it yesterday, and it's still shared on my Facebook page. So I listened to it again since yesterday. Anybody else listen to it twice?
I did.
Listen to it, and then put it on repeat just so that you have that opportunity. So I think that's our agenda item for peaking, Chuck.
Yep.
That's all I wanted to cover. Just this is what's new, this is what's normal. We got the messaging, but just having that way to peak, and then now we got to promote on a level that's kind of like television. We got to get much better at our language of edifying and making these virtual events special, because that's what we have. Like, how many of y'all saw 1 million people talking about Teddy Riley and Babyface?
Right.
That's promotion. That, you see what I'm saying? That's driving activity. We got to start making these things. And Chuck and I have talked about 2 events specifically to start consistently having on our calendars, Monday and Tuesday. Just start your week with exposure so you can use everything you got to fill up something that you know is going to happen. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So we got money making Monday, or Make Your Money Moves Monday. I forgot which one we ended up naming it, but it's financial solutions for today's challenges, right? Knowing that everybody has new challenges that they're facing, we got new solutions. Well, they're new to them. They're the same solution we had. It's just more applicable because of today's environment. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. Now, a couple of small things that I want to do, just talking about technology, because I see we're running close to our time target, Chuck.
Yep, we're right here at 9 so far. We got
All right, let's talk about using Zoom to make money. How many of you want to use Zoom to make money?
I do.
All right. So here's one of the things that I want you to think about. Why, and as a matter of fact, if you're not in a place where background noise is excessive, come off mute so we can talk about this. Why do you think that the profit parties in the house and the meetings at the hotel had the highest combination of people moving to action and getting started in a hurry right away?
I think just being face-to-face is more intimate.
Face-to-face is more intimate. As Vonda. Congratulations again, new executive.
Thank you.
Director, there we go.
And people do business with people that they trust. This is Monica.
Right.
Business with people they could trust. Absolutely. Who else?
Fear of
social
loss.
validation.
Fear of loss.
Yeah, I was able to see the culture.
Around, getting ready to
The people.
them having a good time. What else?
Mhm.
Who said that?
Social validation.
Validation. Anything else?
Yeah, I was saying this tequila. I was just saying the culture and the people, just seeing the people and the atmosphere.
So,
Right, the energy.
The energy, right.
if we think about what we miss, because now being in Zoom, we don't have any way possible that we can be in the same room with them and guarantee that we're following social distancing guidelines, protecting our home, our health, and our wealth, right?
Right.
Right.
Well, let me show you something. Let me show you this. If the people that we see, if the people that we interact with, if that contact is what people join, what does that screen look like to you?
Mm.
Mhm.
So that means
Right.
everybody face need to be showing.
Exactly.
I'm just
So they
saying,
can
if
see
we
the
want to make
face.
money together, if we want to replace that contact, that sense of intimacy, faces are important. So am I saying that you can always be on camera, be camera ready? Absolutely not. But as long as you're dressed, you can be on the camera. And I really do appreciate when you do, right? Hey, Shantae, right? They see your eyes, they see your contact. Now they're a part of something versus a part of names. And even if you're not sharing your screen, right? At least put a smiling face on there. You see what I'm saying? So that if somebody came by, if we did a screenshot of all of us with smiling profile pictures, at least somebody would say, man, they would say two things. It's a lot of you and everybody looks happy. What y'all doing? You see what I'm saying? So action item number one, if you're taking notes, I want you to go into your profile and add a cute picture of you. People like cute people still, right? And at the same, so for those of you that don't know how to do it, if you go into, well, as a matter of fact, we'll do a separate session where if you can't figure out how to get your profile picture set, I'll work through some Zoom technology with people. The other thing, have some fun with the reactions. Everybody say reactions? Reactions. See, it's one thing if Chuck, because Chuck is a master of getting on here, blazing through the presentation, and he tries to be done in 29 minutes. Did y'all realize that was his standard?
Yeah, I realize
Right.
But it goes faster if there's just that little bit of confirmation that what he's saying is making sense to someone, and the prospect hears it too. So all the things that you do, chatting, raising your hand, thumbs up, just little interactions, let people know that this isn't just somebody, it's a body of people working together. Or I didn't know if you knew that for those of you that are dark skinned, you can change your reaction to have a big brown thumb.
Oh yeah, that's what I need.
That's in your profile under general. You can choose your skin tone so that when your thumb goes up, it looks kind of like your thumb. And when you clap your hands, it looks kind of like your hands. Making sense?
Yep.
And then last but not least, in your profile, we talked about the picture, but the most important thing is to try to position yourself to be engaged. Now, there are a number of presentation tips and tricks because believe it or not, everybody in corporate America is also going to Zoom, yes?
Yep.
So now, if you get a degree of mastery, now you have a new skill that's worth money, not just in this business, but in this virtual world. Remote presentation excellence and engagement is something that we can focus on. So I encourage you, as you're able to, be in a place. Think about that you only have one webinar on your calendar, yes? Or two, or whatever. Because think about here's the magic of what we're able to do. Because we think about the things that we lose in a time when something's taken away, yes?
Yep.
Meaning,
Right.
I can't imagine looking down my calendar on a Saturday as an active business builder and not having at least 2 profit parties, trying to get 3 where I had to drive to 3 different places around town or around the country. But now that it's not possible, we have the opportunity to elevate our communication skills and leverage. We can have people in 5 cities in one intimate engagement all at one time. I mean, it's impossible for me to do a profit party for Monica in Savannah and Felicia in Bridgeport and still be here in Atlanta, except for Zoom.
Right.
Right.
Spend time as a team, playing team. So what are your action items for increasing how we make money in the Zoom room? Number 1, turn your camera on. Attractive people are attractive, and y'all good looking. Number 2, if you're not able to turn your camera on, set your profile with a good looking picture of you so that when a prospect comes on, instead of seeing somebody's phone device or their name only, they see us so that they can join the movement. The movement looks like people moving, right?
Right.
Third, increase your use of reactions, thumbs up, applause, smile, right? And be ready to testify. I love the testimonies that we hear often, but what's even better are the varied testimonies. Like, you know who has a good new testimony, Chuck?
Who?
Therese Pagese.
Oh, really? Sharice.
I do. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Since before MWR, my credit was shot. And since I've joined, my credit was in like the mid 500s. So now, since then, it's went up 67 points within a month time frame. So I checked it again, maybe 3 days after I checked it the first time, and it went up for extra points. So it went up 68 points.
Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
congrats,
I
congrats.
mean, it's little, but I mean, I'm anxious to see the changes in my next, when I look at it again, I'm ready to see, I'm anxious.
Okay. And now, for those of you that are presenting, so here's the thing. It's a case in point of being a product of the product and being ready, knowing the thing that you had done that moved the needle for you. All the things that we do in MWR, they work together as a cycle. But if you continue to have that as your operating system, your testimony is always going to be better the next time.
Mm-hmm.
So give it up one more time. I want you, as you applaud her, let's do sign language applause and the reaction applause. It's down here. Bam.
Bam.
Hold on.
Little things, knowing that we can't, we can't touch and hug and do all the stuff that we would normally do in person, but do the things that you can do to help engage, because that presenter is always better when getting energy from the people that are listening. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and one other secret of Zoom, for those of you, because Zoom, Facebook, whatever, start knowing that where the people are is not where you see them. Meaning everybody that I'm talking to is right there. Find your camera. Do this.
Camera, yes.
Right there.
Camera. This translates into eye contact. So if you're on, especially if you're coming on a good testimony, when you give a testimony, come out of picture mode so they can see your face. See how Fabian's right there? Right at the camera. You got to practice this because it's weird. Because I see my brother is just under the camera on my screen, but he's right there. All right.
Right.
Any questions about how we can better improve our team technology usage with Zoom? And now the last thing with Zoom, last point if you're taking notes, make sure you've got your own Zoom account. Does everybody have a Zoom account? You got a Zoom account? Say thumbs up.
Yes, sir.
Thumbs up, thumbs up. Of course. All right, thumbs. Now, why is that important? Because it seems like me and Chuck send out the link whenever we're going to do a presentation. Yes, Fabian, they send out the link. Why can't I just use theirs?
Because you can't record on theirs.
Right.
Exactly. Here's what you got to do. Anything that you got to get better at that you haven't done before, it's important that you're able to practice before you have to do it for pay, yes?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So with your own Zoom account, you can get on, you can check your lighting, you can see, I should never do a presentation in my dad's office. He got recessed fluorescent lighting. It looked like I got a little halo of glisten right now. But that's my lesson for next time is get on back home to your studio where all the light is just how you like it. But but the second thing is as you record, you can start to improve those small places that make you cringe. Anybody ever listen to themselves back and say, I sounded straight crazy?
Yep.
Yes,
All
sir.
the time.
All the
Yes,
time.
all the time, like every day, Richard. Yes.
So here's what we got to do. Do that by yourself where nobody knows you look crazy. You can delete it. As a matter of fact, don't even delete it. Keep it so you can see your progress and look back at how bad it was and how much better you've got. Does it make sense? Right. All right, so that's 100. It for Zoom. Was there anything else I needed to cover on Zoom? Camera's right here. Where's the camera? Everybody circle the camera on your thing. Especially if you're giving a testimony, make sure you're looking right there. Before MWR. Everybody say before MWR while looking directly at the camera.
Before MWR.
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 That's it right there. Excellent. All right, so on to the next topic.
Before MWR.
Put on the accelerator because it's almost time for ED and above training. If you are not qualified for ED and above training, don't let that happen again. Brian is about to let us in on some games, so let's make sure we get everybody to where they get to the big table training. Make sense?
Yep.
All right, so next topic. What do we have next, sir?
Next we had calendar and connections. One last thing on Zoom before we leave. Always remember to put your light behind the camera.
Yes,
so if your light is behind you, it glares into the thing. Put your light behind the camera. So y'all know I'm of the darker complexion, so I got several lights back here to help your boy show up. And I try to wear light shirts so y'all can see. I try not to wear black shirts so I don't blend all in. But the light goes behind the camera, okay? That way people can see your face. They want to look you in the eyes. They want to see you smile. This is our connection, guys. This is the best we got right now. And at least we got this. So let's be sure we maximize Zoom and connect with people. Perfect. Yes. I want to reemphasize that. All right. I think next, we're talking about the calendar.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah, let me do two things. Let me first say about the calendar, what I want to do is put us in a position where we can work together most often. They say in life, you can run fast alone, but you can run longer with a group. So one of the things that I want to make sure, because we have a lot of new partners and they're not necessarily sure what to do, nor do they have the posture to do it well, and we can't go do it with them at their house, let's make sure that we leverage the opportunity to do things together. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep. Totally.
One of the things that was in our old school practice was just sitting down and planning your business like a business. Because how many of you are busy?
Me.
If you ever recruit a busy person, they got to have enough notice to act on a thing that's happening. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So rather than, here's one of the things that we've started working on a way to address is one of the behaviors of anything that's happening in Messenger is it's either happening now or I don't remember when it happened. Does that make sense? So even today, when I put the link for this webinar in for 8:30, somebody joined right away. And you know why? Because that's appropriate. That's a natural response. If you're going to do anything about something that happens in Messenger, it happens right now. But if we're going to maximize our opportunity to have 100 people on the webinar we're doing tomorrow, we got to start inviting today.
Right.
Okay.
That makes sense. So now everybody knows. Does everybody know we are having a webinar tomorrow night at 9:30?
Yes.
9:30. And here's how you know. So let me show you the calendar, but also show you how to apply it. First thing is, those of you that gave me your contact information, your email address last night, did you get the calendar?
Yes.
All right, let me show you. For those that didn't, where's my calendar link? Oh, here we go. So here's the effect of Google. We got to be able to collaborate to see what's happening, when it's happening, and match it up with our calendar. Now here's our default calendar. Let's see, did I take everything else out? Okay, so by the way,
it's not showing on your screen. No, it's not showing on the screen.
Oh, it's not. Hang on. Let me share again. Did someone have a question? I saw a hand.
We'll get back to it.
Okay, those of you that have worked with Google Docs, Google Calendar before, just thumbs up just so I know how much training we need to do the next time. Thumbs up if you've used it before. Here's the power of Google Calendar. Now I can have something on my calendar and your calendar at the same time, and you can lay it across the landscape of your life and see what fits for you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
At the same time, we can also make sure that we're not diluting our efforts by trying to have 3 different webinars at 7:30 versus just having one big one where we're all plugged in and able to leverage each other's energy. Make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
I don't know who duplicated that webinar that many times. I'll clean up the calendar later. But the process for getting into the calendar, each of these senior directors, I'll work with you to make sure that you're trained so that you can add your own teams as they join, as new members join. But what you're also able to do with this calendar is integrate it to your phone. How many of you have your calendar on your phone?
I do. Yep.
If not,
yes.
Yep. So now when something's coming up, you can quickly grab it and text it to other people, and you don't have to go anywhere else to find the things that are happening. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's our, and here's our goal with the calendar. We got to fill up the time that we can work with money-making time. What is money-making time, you say? Wait, what is money-making time? I think we talked about that already. Come on.
Money making time.
Somebody's got to know what money-making time is.
Making calls.
So like
The power
A
hour.
dedicated time to make money.
dedicated time to do the things that make money. And what things make money?
Right there, man.
Phone calls, invitations, invites.
Right. Invitations so that people get exposure. So if you look at any of your activity, this is how you know when you're doing the business and then when you're being busy. Doing the business, somebody's got eyes on the prize. They're seeing the business, they're getting trained, not even they're training in the business. They're seeing the business, they're seeing the membership, and they're making a decision to either become business partners or members. That's doing the business. That's working in the business. It makes sense?
Right.
Yes.
So the number one activity that each of us can do is what Chuck calls in his profession, pre-production. Chuck, tell them about what pre-production is.
Pre-production is doing the things before the deal, right? This is where you actually, this is the grind, right? A lot of people always talking about, man, I'm hustling, I'm grinding. The grind is what people don't see, right? But because we're working as a team, the grind is when we're making the calls. The webinars, the profit parties, the conference calls, that's where we're exposing people. But where we actually are busy is getting people to those things, because most of those things we're not necessarily doing, right? Well, I can say some of us aren't, right? Some of us aren't actually doing the conference call, actually doing the webinar. We're just on the webinar. That's somebody else working. Our work is to get people there. And we want to work as much as possible together with that pre-production, right? So the power hour, let me tell you, making the calls, that phone gets heavy by yourself. Who's ever been at home and that phone look real heavy when you know you got some people you want to call?
That's
You are.
Transparency here, right?
Yeah.
Phone look real heavy. You be like, God, you know. But if we working as a team, it gets a little bit better. Now I know we have some people on the line that work with us with some power hours before, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna pick on Michelle. Did I see Michelle on here? I saw Michelle on here. There she go. Hey Michelle, do me a favor. Come off mute real quick, right? Come off mute. Right? So Michelle jumped on one of the power hours with us. Of course, we get a little quick, mindset, conversation training so we can get going. And all the power hour is pretty much, it looks just like this, except everybody making phone calls. Now, Michelle, how did it work for you when you got on the power hour for the first time and worked with the team? How did that work out with you just feeling better about your calls?
I felt really good. It was exciting. Every time someone would get a confirmation, we would give each other thumbs up or waves or whatever. And it was just exciting to be able to come together and do it as a team and to see the enthusiasm from each other. And it
And
helped.
that's it, because, go ahead. Yeah, synergy is real. When one person wins, we all get a chance to win. We all get a chance to celebrate, right? So when we're doing the power hours, don't be afraid to jump on, because it's also accountability. You in business for yourself, so you can be your best boss, but you can also be your worst boss. So you don't want to let yourself get away with stuff just because you don't feel like it. Let me let you know, none of us feel like it, right? None of us do. None of us feel like it, right? But we doing what we got to do so we can do what we want to do. And once you get that momentum going, once you make like 2 or 3, you looking up at everybody else still on the phone going, you like, okay, let me call one more. Let me call one more. It's not that hard. It's just different, and we're doing it together. So we're going to have a consistent power hour every week, okay? So when it comes to the schedule, we know on Mondays at 9:30, we're going to have a Money Making Monday, because the corporate call is at 8:30. Money Making Monday is at 9:30, all right? You'll have one of the leaders, myself, Yaz, Kim, my brother, Bernard can do the presentation now. We got a lot of other people that can get a conversation. I think Felicia ready to get a conversation. We're going to have a lot of leaders plugging in to help get a conversation in different perspectives, right? Then we'll even put some themes behind our money-making Monday. So we might just have ladies' night, right? But we have the ladies get on here and represent that thing. We might have an entrepreneur night, right? But they come with the entrepreneur perspective. We'll have a corporate America night. So you can kind of cater that conversation. Like, look, ladies, we have a Money Making Monday. It's a ladies' night event. We're going to have one of the top leaders on the call. She's going to blaze it, right? So now we have something different to promote for. But again, it's all for the team. That's always on Monday at 9:30. Mr. Bean always does a conference call on Tuesdays at 9:30. And, of course, he has the webinar that he does on Facebook, that's going to be on Facebook on Wednesday at 9:30. So we have some consistent things, but that does not take away from our triple play. Our triple play is the key. Getting our new partners some success is the key. And all that is about the exposures. So we want to be sure we're scheduling the triple play, working with the leaders, because we'll have to double up on a few, 2 or 3 people doing their profit party. But we want to be sure we're getting everybody that triple play, getting that chance for exposures. I know I went just long real quick. Okay.
But it's
All right.
powerful. And here's a side effect. This is something I had not realized would happen from doing a power hour on Zoom. Because those of you that work with me in previous businesses, you knew my spot. It was Panera Bread on La Vista Road at 6 o'clock, right? And Chuck was, if you ever tried to do a power hour with Chuck, he'd ask what side of town you're on.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Don't tell him the secret.
Yeah, Angela, what would he say after that?
Don't tell him. It's a
So
secret.
you're on the east side. Okay, anyway. It was just here's the reality for everybody. The schedule is off. Like all of life is kind of crazy right now. People get up late, work later because the computer's always nearby. And we're just carving out an hour to bang out these calls. But here's a side effect that I got. Now, we can't have $20 on it like we used to. But thinking about the gift that we get, I now get to see how my face looks when I'm making a call. And do you know that your voice comes through on your face?
Mm-hmm.
It shapes your mouth. So if you're looking at yourself and you're not smiling, the other people over there see you not smiling too, and the prospect hears it.
Thank you.
It's the effect of seeing what you're saying.
Okay.
All right.
That
Let's see. Was that our last topic? Do we have anything?
Nope, that was the last topic before we get to celebrating a few people.
Hang on. Everybody on the calendar that got their invitation and is able to see the calendar events, thumbs up. Let me see that you got it.
Richard, I couldn't see the entries on the calendar. This is Monica. I just checked.
So I just added you from the chat. So it might have changed in the last 5 seconds for you.
I'll refresh it.
I have to Same here. This is Sonia. I have it, but I can't see the details on it.
Okay, I'll go back through. Do me a favor, in the spreadsheet, put that you're having an issue on the right side of your email address, and we can address it separately.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right, so really quickly, you guys, we know we got to let the EDs and everybody jump off this call so we can get prepared for Mr. Bean call. Got to recognize everybody got promoted out. We had so many people on the team getting recognized. It's really hard to even keep up with everything, but that just goes to show the power of the momentum and the excitement that we have. So just wanted to recognize everybody and want to have a few people actually jump on and say a few things because we got some people getting promoted and it's exciting, man. I love to see the team win. Like that's 100% me. I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm there for you. You know what I mean? Like I love it, So we had the position of executive director, and you guys understand how important this position is, right? You got to go to ED before you can go to the next one, okay? And if you can do a thing, you can teach a thing. And that's all we're going to be doing is producing executive directors. That will get you to your next position, just helping them have your success, all right? So first recognition for executive director is Miss Julia Hannon. Congratulations for earning executive director. Y'all give it up for. Cherie Gay Clark, congratulations again. Give it up, right? We got Miss Vonda Bell in the building. Where's Vonda Bell at? New executive director, right? Jerisha Johnson, well, congratulations. Getting it done.
Yeah, Judy.
We got Shay Johnson. Congratulations, new executive director.
Yeah, Shay.
Tanisha White, new executive director. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Anika Allen, representing all the way up there in Bridgeport. Congratulations.
Congrats.
All right, I think I saw her on here earlier. Chantel Shannonhouse. Chantel, congratulations. Welcome. Congrats. We got to give it up for Miss Ron Petaway. Mr. Ron Petaway. Ron, congratulations. I know you're just out there doing your thing, bro. Miss Stephanie Shorter, welcome. I think I saw her on here earlier. Congrats, Steph. Super proud of you guys, right? And those are the executive directors, right, who just got promoted. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I was actually trying to go from memory as I was looking through the back office. It was hard for me to see. Did I miss anybody that actually earned it over these past 2 weeks? I know we've had some people getting real close.
Oh,
Don't want to leave anybody out.
Before the right before the stimulus.
Right before this, I know Miss Martha Dodd hit right before the stimulus. Congratulations, Miss Martha Dodd. I saw her on here earlier. And was there anybody else I missed? No. Okay. Awesome. Now we have senior directors, you guys. This is the position where the game changed right here. The senior directors, this is where, you know, you're in position. You got that $20 daily guarantee. I'm telling you, it feels good just to get that text every day. The $5 feels good. Once you get to be 2 numbers and you start saying that $20, that it start getting a little good to you, man. I'm gonna let you know. It's a good little feeling. You're gonna start screenshotting that thing, right? So for our newest senior director, Miss Felicia McCoy, is she on the line? I thought I saw her earlier.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Felicia. Okay, we also have Mr. and of course, Mr. Des McCoy, right? Congratulations.
Congrats.
You got 2 senior directors in the same house, each holding their own position. So that's 20 for each house. Come on now, y'all got come on now. See how they doubling up?
Nice.
Suck that check. All right. Miss
Let me hold some.
Nakata Forbes.
Yes.
Welcome. Senior director. Is she on the line? I thought I saw her earlier. Well, she is on now. Awesome. So you guys, I'm tell you, that's the position now. Again, your mind is set. If I'm executive director, I need to help 3 people do what I did. Let's go. It's let's go, let's move, let's make it happen, right? Then, of course, we do have a new area director on the team representing, you know, making it happen. Super proud of her. She's already super busy. She has her own business. Her and her husband have, I think, like 2 businesses that they run. You know, they were moving at the time. They had a lot of things moving, but she didn't make excuses. She made it happen. So, y'all, let's give it up for the new area director, Kim. I need you to come off line so they can clap it up for you. And everybody make some noise for Miss Kim. Kim.
Congrats, everybody.
Right.
Awesome. So, Kim, share with us anything you want to share with the team. You know, I know this is just one milestone. We already talked about all the people we're going to help get promoted, but let's bask in the glory of what you got done right now. Congratulations.
Well, first, I want to give it back to you, Chuck, for always being there for myself and my team. You are absolutely awesome, and just for you to make yourself available to each and every one of us, that's wonderful, and I definitely appreciate you. And then I also got to give it back to my own team because I would not be here without them. So I am so grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for your hard work as well. And for just everybody on the team, I just want to say, if you do the work, guess what? It's going to eventually pay off. So don't, get discouraged. Don't think that your working is in vain. Because definitely, people, once it take off, let me tell you, that train keeps going. So just continue working, continue staying connected with your team, and the rest will be history. And I'll see everybody at the top.
Everybody at the top. Awesome. Congratulations again, Kim. You guys, that's just one step as we continue to move forward because we know it's not about us, it's about helping the team. And we are right here at the 9:25 mark for all the executive directors. Go to the executive director extra digit movement. I think I added everyone onto that particular page because that's where the link is to get on. And I forgot to start our call with the Power Builders Creed. So I'm going to go ahead and end the call with the Power Builders Creed. If you want a copy of it, let me know so I can send it to you, right? So here we go. I'm a power builder. I live my life with the attitude of gratitude and expectation, thanking God for his power that flows through me. I make a daily commitment to build up my God-given powers and the powers of those around me. I build my mind, my body, my spirit, my business. I build my world. I'm a power builder. Speed plus strength plus precision equals power. I would not have been given the powers I possess if I was not expected to use them. Now, along with great power does come great responsibility. I choose to use my powers for the forces of good, forever increasing my world for the better forever increasing love, wealth, health, success, and abundance. I'm a power builder, and I invite you to join the movement. That's the power builders creed, you guys. If you need a copy of that, let me know. I'll send it to you guys. Great affirmation you can say to yourself.
Yes,
But that's
I
what this
love the
organization embodies, is empowering everybody else. So thank you very much, Big Bro. Thank you for helping put this call together, for your leadership and everything that we're doing to make this thing happen, you guys. We gonna take this thing by storm. Look forward to seeing you guys on the beaches of the world, or seeing you at the bank, whichever one comes first. Talk to y'all soon. Peace out.
Good night.
Good night.
Like,